that I personally think sucks, but people come up to me all the time and go, I love it, I think it's great. I'm like, I'm not going to say you're wrong. If you like it, eat it. That's awesome. I don't eat it.
It's art.
I respect that. I respect you guys for liking whatever I hate.
All right, more questions. You in the back. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the use of a very low pace in modern anime, because I've found in American media a lot of when the Japanese was very inherently low and manly, as much as it was not yelling, they give it to a baritone in American dubbing.
Okay, so let me see if I understand the question. You're saying that in Japanese, when they have a low voice in Japanese, they'll give it to a baritone or a bass in American?
The lowest voices in Japanese
Tend to be higher than the deeper voices in America?
No, what I think you're saying is that the American versions tend to bring them up. Okay, that's not my experience. Honestly, that might just be a cultural thing, or whatever the companies, they're like, you know what, this plays better to the audience. Listen, the sexy voice in Japan is very often, you know, whereas sexy voice in American is usually deeper and smokier, you know, for the ladies. So it might just be a cultural thing, or it might be something where whatever studio it is just thinks that, well, maybe this character would be a little less threatening if they're not so low and rumbly. But honestly, man, there's no rule on that. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no hard fast rule, and my experience has been different. My experience has been like, I don't know if it's because I'm a lyric baritone, so I can go pretty low and I can go pretty high. I'll get a part and the Japanese guy will sound like this. And then I come up and I'm like, you know, like, yeah, that's awesome. So I tend to go lower.
Or I'll be down here talking like Gregor or whatever.
Or I'll do the Uber, you know,
Demon voice.
when the guy in the Japanese is like, I can't speak Japanese, so I'm not trying to mock them, but it's always like, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do it super deep. So my experience is that I always go deeper, and that the women tend to be deeper, and what we really try to find, you know, in anime is if you got a good squeaky voice, that's great for girls in anime. Those are great.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, again, the thing is, you know, it makes you want to claw your eyes out, because yeah, it depends on the show. You know, it depends on the market. Is this something that's being marketed to mainstream America across the country, or it's something that's being marketed to you guys? You know, because there's a difference. You're going to want something that's maybe more true to the Japanese, whereas the mainstream American market is going to want something that's a little different. You know. So anyway, another question. All right, redhead, right? Do's or don'ts for a demo. Okay,
Make it only 1 minute long.
Yeah, if you have a demo, I always like to hear like a commercial and a character track. Commercials is where all the money is.
Don't do impersonations of Homer Simpson.
Don't do impressions. Unless that's your thing. If you are an impressionist, that's what you do,
and you're really good at it.
Otherwise, don't do impressions. You can, you know, do something that's a Bart Simpson type character, but don't do Bart Simpson. People always want to do their Ash for me. Guess what? I have someone playing that part already. I don't need someone else to sound like Ash, you know? But if you want to be that character type, let me hear that. So those are things, and like I said, anything that's on your demo has to be something you can instantly recreate in person. But having a commercial track is smart, and if you want to do, you know, animation stuff, having a character track. Yes. The commercial track will, you know, because one thing I do want to hear when I hear a demo, like Man of a Thousand Voices over here, I do want to know where your voice is in there, you know?
Oh, yeah, I'll put my natural voice on there, yeah.
So, you know, that's why having that commercial track is good. So here's the natural voice, and then here's everything it can do. So those are a couple of simple, and as Sean did mention, the length of the tracks. You want to keep the tracks to about a minute. You know, you can go a little further, whatever, if you want, but keep
my demo is like 4 minutes long because I don't give a crap, and also I don't really, you know, like, and I'm redoing it, and I know I have to cut it down.
Yeah, so
also,
4 minutes long, no one's ever going to hear minutes 3 and 4. They're going to tune out before that. As good as he is,
they'll tune me out. They'll tune me, and I know I got to cut it down. So, and I was thinking of another doing tone. She made me think of another one. I can't.
Make sure you have it, you know, don't make a tape. Not that any of you kids out there, in my day we had tapes.
You know, my first demo
but you want to have something that you can email out also, and there's, you know, yeah. So, but we should hit a couple more questions before we go. Give me another question.
Thanks so much.
Oh, well, let me pick somebody. Hang on. Let me get somebody. I like your glasses, lady with the glasses. Yeah, you just put your hand down. I like your glasses, so I'm gonna.
You talked a lot about there being work in California, about there being some work in New York and Texas. Do you know about any work, if it exists in the Boston area?
I don't personally.
No, I mean, we're not from here. Now, listen, there's plenty, I mean, there's lots of people in the city, so there's going to be a lot of advertising, there's going to be a lot of radio stuff that's local, and also, for any of your, local news markets, things like that. Isn't the Harmonics here? I mean, now, they probably don't do a lot of voiceover stuff here, but, I don't know, honestly. I mean, but the thing is, a major city like this is going to have stuff mostly advertising commercial based, but there will be work there, okay? Someone else, you right there. Yeah.
All right. You guys already said that you aren't local, you don't live around in the area, but in regards to voice acting and getting like lessons and training, what would be your suggestion on things to look for, things to avoid, in terms of like a voice acting?
Oh, there are some scams out there, yeah. Well, the one thing you both, okay, I've seen demos where it's like, come to my class, it's 8 weeks long, you come once a week, and at the end, we give you a demo, and it's $600. That's actually not bad, because, studio time, and if it's a good demo, and Peter Roffet does that in New York or whatever, that's not bad. But sometimes I've heard like, yeah, it's, this many weeks, it's several $1,000s, and you get a demo, and I'm like, you should be able to get a demo together in under $1,000 and get some, I think.
Yeah, but also, just watch out for the upsells.
Yeah,
for upsells. When there's hidden costs and things like that, like pretty much if somebody's like, I'm going to do this thing for you for this much money, okay, but if they're like, oh, but if you want that, that's extra, or if you want to learn this, that's extra. You watch out for upsells. Find people with demos that you like and be like, where did you get this? And another thing that helps is if the place that does your demo is connected. When I produce a demo for people, I can get it in the hands of people who are producing shows, who are producing things in New York, or even in LA or Texas, because I know all those people. So that's like an added bonus to going to a guy like me. So things like that also help.
So in that regard, what would be an appropriate price range? You said under $1,000.
I honestly, I don't know what people are going to charge you. It's whatever. I mean, around $1,000 maybe, but it depends how many tracks you're doing, where you want it to go.
Here's one of my secrets.
Also, with this market, if you're from the Boston area, I have no idea what this market would charge. New York is probably a little more expensive.
Here's one of my secrets that I'm working on and I've done. Because I believe voice acting for me is largely musical, you want to get other people's music in your voice. What that means is, I'm a natural mimic. So what I do is, I went to like the most famous casting website I could find that was like bi-coastal offices, and then I found all the male demos, and then I downloaded all of them into Pro Tools. There might be 100 of them. And I put headphones on, and I get my microphone out, and I listen to all of them over and over, mimicking each one. Not because I want to sound like them, but because I want to add to my palette. I want to see what they're doing and see.
He does these naked and stoned at 3 in the morning.
That's not true.
Half a burrito.
That's not true. And then I write a parody and put it up on my MySpace page. But listening and getting that stuff, like when we were going to do the hentai panel, now he's asked me, can you do some Bill Cosby porn? And I'm like, we'll see in the property club. There's so many porn words that work for Bill Cosby. And me and my friends, we have like dueling walk-ins. Every time we see each other, like, who can do the best walk-ins? Like, hey, I put my pants on one leg at a time. We do the whole, you have to do like Arnold Schwarzenegger and just do it all the time. Sometimes I talk all the time like that. It's not because I want to get to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, although I did do it on Pokemon once, or new Yu-Gi-Oh. No, I did it on Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. I can't remember which show, yeah. And, but it does help me be flexible. So if they go, well, we want to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger-like character, I'm like, oh, do you want a bona fide impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger? Who's calling me? Oh, it's my friend Brian. Crap. I should have answered it. It would have been funny because he's very funny. There's actually a really funny story behind that, but we're running out of time. I should have answered it. But what about the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing? Because I can do the impression, they go, it's a big muscly guy. I might go to an audition again, instead of doing a bona fide, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, I might go, yeah, man, I'm going to talk and rip you apart. I might just change it slightly so it's a little Arnoldy, but it's not, which is really not that much. But I might change it slightly. They go, yeah, a little less Arnold, a little more Arnold. Or sometimes they ask me to gay it up. I don't know why. But because I was doing Dr. Crowder, and I was on, and then like, the director, like, just gay it up a little bit more, he's gay. And I was like, okay, well, if you say so, I got sanctioned. So I was like, okay, I'll make it better, they get direction like that. So, flipping around, I'm digressing. Here's the deal. The schedule got screwed up. We were supposed to be 6:30, 7:30. Nobody was here. Now tons of people are here, so I kind of don't want to close the panel, but I need to get permission.
We can't go over.
All right, well, let's just give me another question. What are we doing? You over there. Yeah. To keep your voice in top form. I can speak on this at length. Well, yeah, so, listen, there's a couple of, obvious things. Smoking is bad for you. It's bad for your voice, okay? If you're doing any kind of vocal thing, voice or character or whatever, and it hurts, it's bad for you. There's a way to remedy that, though. Yeah, but all I'm saying is, because you might have to play a character like that, but don't push yourself too much, especially when you're a voice actor, you're relying on your voice. You got to know that you perform every day. No. I want to talk about this because actually, when I was studying music school and I was working on my degree in French horn performance, I had to take a lot of breathing classes, a lot of singing classes, and I learned a lot about brass pedagogy and how it applies to your lips. But a lot of those techniques apply to your voice. So one time, the key to keeping your voice in shape while you're working is tons of breath support and air. And here's why. I did a show, Black Doom. I did Black Doom in the Shadow the Hedgehog game, and I had to talk like this.
Talking like Black Doom for 14 hours.
Now, I lost my voice, but I would have lost it in 1 hour had I were not throwing and I didn't even throw tons of air at it just now. Throwing tons and tons of air at it. Here's why. Your vocal cords are like sails. And you have it like this. And if you're not using a lot of air and you're trying to do a voice, you're squeezing those vocal cords together and they're rubbing up against each other and you'll get notes. When you throw lots of air in it, it blows your vocal cords apart like a sail. And then they vibrate together, but they're never beating up each other too much, so they don't swell up and you won't develop notes. This is why you'll see some singers can sing 8 hours. They're using tons and tons of breath support and air. So when I'm doing, just for example, to give you an idea, without a mic, I'm going to do it. I did a character on Thumb Wrestling Federation, the crazy Russian sidekick Colonel Cossack. This is how loud it is when I'm in the booth. So in order to do it without hurting my voice, this is how loud it is. You're crazy! And then it goes like this, and then I'm saying a bunch of crap like this, and it's always so loud! It's that loud. And the engineer controls it. If I did it softer than that, I couldn't do it for very long because all of a sudden I'm trying to make the voice without using the air. When I do Goku on Dragon Ball Z, if I'm doing the Kamehameha, I'm powering up, it's this loud. Yeah! Sounds like it's hurting me, but I'm just throwing tons of air through my vocal cords are not.
If you're running out of air, you tighten up.
You tighten up. That's a big one.
8/10 is, anything tight, 10/10's bad. Now listen, the next panelists have shown up. Oh yeah. So we're going to turn the floor over to them. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. I hope you for coming. We'll see you around the convention. Thank you very much.
Respectfully ask that you let the actors leave so we can get the next folks who were very patient.
Yeah, Anime Boston. I'm so tired from walking. Soda. Alright guys, thanks for... Oh man, I had a blast. Okay. So yeah, thank you for watching my vlog. It's been a fun day. I hope I can go next year. Next year, 10th anniversary of Anime Boston. Wow, I'm really tired. I can't really talk. My brain is like blah. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, you'll see me tomorrow. Yeah. Good night, guys. I'm exhausted. can leave now.